Hey there YouTube, I'm Yukitsu, this is the Yukitsu Times, welcome to my channel, welcome back to Polybridge. So, I was going back over here and apparently I'd gone over on the air balloon jump, so I went back and I redid it, but just for completeness sake, where do I get the saves? Is it, I thought save did something different than it did. Let's see here. Load this. There we go. Okay, so this is how I decided to get across the thing here. I've actually found an angle of jump that actually just outright goes across. Don't worry about that stuff that's breaking down there, it's irrelevant. Okay, so majestic, truly. So this is under budget, and yeah, it works. So that was what I did. Anyway, let's get back to the main menu for this and get to the one that I was on. So I haven't figured this one out yet, but I'm trying to think of what you would do for this. So, like, there's two sort of ways that I think that you could approach this. I think what you want to do is have this one come over here and sort of just fall over to there if possible. That would be nice. If that could happen. I think this is too front heavy for that to work though, but in any event, let's for now just work and focus on making our first bridge work. So that's this thing. And just build triangles. This is a game about triangles. It's the mantra that you have to repeat. And we're actually going to, oops, that was the wrong button. We're just going to shorten these a little bit because we don't want to spend as much money on these as we were. I don't know how the height of them affects their performance, honestly, but let's go ahead and lower those just a little bit. Let's move this over here, maybe. What I want to do is actually have support that goes straight up here if possible. This is actually not that bad, though. We'll see how that works, just to add a little bit of extra support there. And then I think we can add a split joint there, but I don't think that'll influence it too much. So you can see the amount of stress that's across this. We might just need more trusses. Yeah, I think that that is going to be adequate to solve this particular problem. So we're just going to add them up to about here, which is, I think, where the main sort of points of stress were. And that should be fine. And let's see how that works for us. You can see that there's still quite a bit of stress at this point here, but I think that we've got enough to get across. Oh, no, we haven't. Do we have to truss this all the way across? I'd be very surprised if we did. And we can actually add that there too. I don't want to add that there actually, because when this joint goes, this is going to be all sorts of awkward. And I think we're allowed to do this, because I think that hooks that up to that particular side. Let's go ahead and start the simulation now. Let's just want to see if we can get a basic bridge ramp across here without it breaking on us. Yeah, okay. So that's all we wanted to do for now. Now I have to figure out how to get this end to swing down so that I can get this road over here to come across, and I need to keep this part. So what I kind of want is for this to sort of hinge downwards, land sort of on this road, and then let this one drive down onto this road and then go the rest of the way. But what might have to happen is it swings all the way down here and goes across this last little bit here. But we'll see how that works for us. Let's actually not worry about this yet. Let's worry first about getting our hydraulics going for this. So let's see how this works. I'm not sure if we got the steel beam on the right spot, or if that's going to cause it. Yeah, the steel beam's in the wrong spot here, so let's do that. Okay. I wonder if I can. No, I don't have any support back there, so well, we could probably use a bit of cable here. That seems like that's risky. Okay, that's holding up pretty well. And the cable pulls back too hard on that, so that definitely is not the way to go there. Let's see. Well, I don't necessarily. I think you can actually add trusses up along here. I don't know how much that's going to actually help us. Okay. Now let's see if this bridge will move downward in a way that's pretty good. Oh, nope, there's a point where it just sort of snaps. Okay. I think the problem is that I don't know how to control the hydraulics. I don't know how to get them to go where I want them to go, but I'm gonna try this. Let's see if that works. So this changes where the pressure is distributed because the hydraulics are no longer properly holding things up, but that's fine. Okay, that seems to only go about halfway. But that's better than where it was before. I wonder if there's a way to get it even lower. Okay, let's try going like this. This is going to be too far away for that to reach, so I'm just seeing if the height makes a difference, or like what determines... I'm not sure what determines how far these hydraulics go. I think it's a function of they'll like have their length or something. That's my suspicion, but I haven't actually been able to test to confirm that. Okay, so this is going to go across, that's fine. I just want to see if I can get this so that it goes all the way down so that's level. Nope, that still goes about to the same point that was at before. I think maybe the problem is that I've got the hydraulic in the wrong spot there. Okay, let's try adding a hydraulic directly to the road. You can see that this actually helps push up on the thing just a little bit. Okay. And then it pulls it off, though. Like, how do you control these things? I wonder if there's a way to do this with a push hydraulic. And I wonder if there's a way to, like, break the hydraulics so that it stops. Just, like, not snaps it or anything, but stops the hydraulic from continuing on forward. Because I think it has to sort of be... Yeah, this is a... I'm not going to figure this out tonight, am I? Alright, let's... Oops, that's exactly the same way it was before. Let's try moving these a little bit over again. See if that works. So that... I'm trying to get it to pull straight down as much as possible so it doesn't break it off. Nope, still pulls that off. Okay, so apparently I need to attach it to something that's got a little bit of give, but is closer to where that... That, maybe? So if it has more vertical distance, less vertical distance to go, I wonder if it's shorter. Alright. Well, that was interesting. Okay. Well, I'm not sure how to actually deal with that. That is very annoying. I wonder, you can do a split joint there, but it seems a little bit odd to me that you can, but I wonder if I could make it so that the whole thing just sort of pivots upwards, grabs car B, and then he can go across it, maybe? Although I don't have any, like, conception as to how the hydraulics would work for that. Like, let's try something here. Let's see how far that can go. We want that to be able to pivot there, and this will pivot at this point here, so I just want to see how high up it'll go. Like, will the hydraulics automatically close all the way? Oops, that's an open. Okay, so. Alright. Like, what determines how far these hydraulics... Because they don't go all the way when I put them down here, they just stop. Oh, this is going to pull it apart, shoot. Okay, so it seems to go to about... I'm not sure how much. I think they go to half length. I think that's how this works. Okay, so if the distance that I want to go from here to here... Okay, so is this halfway? Will it end up here? Let's find out. Oops. Let's not put the split joint there, and let's get rid of that. Alright. So this is like a really... I don't know why you would ever make an actual bridge system like this. Like, I don't think anyone actually ever would. It seems very obtuse to me. Okay, you know what? I think that's functional. It's not quite where it needs to be. Like, if I could if I could lower that just a little bit more, that would be okay, but that is pretty okay for me. Drop that just a little bit and lower that a little bit more, maybe? No, that shouldn't actually make a difference. Maybe move that more vertical. But that's functional. Okay, so now what I need to do is make this dropping road that sort of gently lowers down onto that other road. Okay, so this should be relatively solid, especially if I add something like that, maybe. I think. So I want to get that as solid as I possibly can get it, because I kind of need... Actually, no, that's not going to work. Okay, well, let's start off with the basics here. We don't need that for now. Can use that. Oops, you're not a road. I think it's gonna have to be this long. And... okay, so this should be able to... I wonder if that can pivot. It can? Good. Okay, so now I just need something that holds this up temporarily. Like, I don't want this to hold it up during the whole process. The perfect thing for that would be the actual hydraulic. Now, I need the hydraulic to lower it down to about, I think, here. So it has to be, like... I can't attach it to anything that's connected directly to this whole menagerie of disaster over here that I've got going, so I need to create some sort of like random wooden strut that goes over there and just is connected to that. And I think I even need to do something like this as well. Okay, well maybe we can actually make this part of the structure. So we can add a little bit of integrity to it by doing this, and also get something that's a little bit lower down, so this can go further across. Okay, so let's get some kind of bar across here. How much budget do I don't have very much budget. Okay, let's try the... I'm so stupid. I don't have any idea how I want to do this. Okay, let's try that and see how it works. This is adding a lot of strain to this, but it looks like it's holding up pretty well. Okay, so that goes too far, but it didn't actually do what I thought it was going to do, which is it didn't actually snap it. I'm over budget. What? Okay. Well, can we get rid of this? Might be able to. Okay, so I don't want it to go down quite as much as it did, so let's try this. Oh, okay, so it did need that support structure. Let's just lower these, maybe. Alright, so that looks pretty good. Strain's pretty good. Okay, so is that gentle enough that it's going to land on that and it's going to survive it landing on it? No, it's not, but that's actually looking pretty good. What I can do is I can tip this down further. And let's see if that works. I might have to add another segment of road, which would definitely run me over budget. No, okay. So what I might have to do instead of that is... Well, actually, no, let's do it like this. If I have this, like, go down like this really early on, and then sort of swoop back up a little bit, it should nose up the car a little bit, so it's not falling at that sort of very steep nosedivey way. I just need to make sure that the van has enough clearance. So this should work better. Every iteration you do these should be getting a little bit closer to an answer. Oh, that smashed the whole thing. Okay, maybe the problem is that I can't have these support struts. Maybe they're blocking this. Okay, so I need some additional support structure here. I could actually do it by doing this. That is not going to work because that's attached to something static now, so I have to do it like that. Is that actually helpful? Yes, it does redistribute the load. Okay, good. It's a little bit risky, but let's see if this goes to the right place or if we should actually just be moving this. It might be better to move that actually somewhere lower. Oh, no, it worked. We did it. Okay, so that was a lot of fiddling, but that was actually really good. So under budget, nothing broke. Alright, so we got ourselves a drawbridge here. Alright, so what's the trick to this one? Right, so I'm assuming that there's some other trick to this, because I've done these before. I guess it's because it's so much longer than usual, is the thing here, so... Maybe not even that. I'm not sure what the trick to this is. Because I know that if I bring the bridge parts down, it has a higher tendency to avoid collision with the boat as it goes by, so maybe they patched that. I don't know. Or maybe it's a budgetary constraint. No, it doesn't look like that. I can split those, but I haven't figured out what that does that's useful. I'm sure it's for something, but I'm sure it's for something like mandatory in one of these levels, and I'm just going to be screwed because I won't think to do it, but... Alright, let's, right, I forget how this works. How do I... Right, I usually go over. Probably turn the grid back on for this, but it probably doesn't matter that much. Alright. Yeah, this puzzle feels awfully familiar, and I'm pretty sure that there's a level that is almost exactly like it. And I'm not sure why this is different, but apparently it is. Alright, so there's quite a bit of stress on the outer frame, but it looks like it's within tolerable, reasonable amounts. Let's see if I got these in the right spot. I think I have. This is probably cheating. Like, this is probably horrendous cheating or something, and I'm not supposed to be able to do it this way. Alright. And along comes the station wagon. A lot of stress there. Very high stress point, but it looks like it's not going to break, so that's all that really matters. Alright, I don't get why that one was supposed to be harder. Because that looks... oh, jeez. 30-meter double overpass drawbridge. Right. So, I'm wondering if I'm supposed to... oh, no, I've got unlimited road, so I could theoretically go over all this. But it does say it wants it to be a double drawbridge, so I don't think that this is right. I'm guessing that if I try to do it this way, it's going to be over budget, so let's try and do this the right way. Okay. Now, I don't have support tethers for the iron on either side, so I'm going to have to figure out a way to make sure that that's stable there, but for now, this is going to be just fine. Okay, so these are going to hold up these parts perfectly fine. I can use trusses, struts, or whatever these are called, keep the things level over here. Oh dear, this is positioned funny. Okay, so what we can do here is wipe out those. Move our... things this way. Okay, and we need to move these so that they're as flat and as even as possible. I think it's got to move a little bit more that way. Okay. And that should be fine. Actually, let's see if let's just put that in the middle there. Okay. So this is, I'm not necessarily entirely sure what it is that I'm supposed to be doing in this one. It feels like this one's iterative to one of the ones that I've done earlier, but maybe not. Like, I always feel like there could be a trick to these that I'm just missing, and it's going to be a lot harder than I think it is. Alright. Now, here's the thing. Because of these solid, stable platforms, this middle part doesn't have to be as heavily reinforced as it normally would be. So I can actually go ahead and sort of cheap out on the overhead struts for that particular part, I think. Is this supposed to be a suspension? This is not supposed to be suspension. Okay, good, because I do not understand how suspension bridges work. Something about torsion. So I've been told. Anyway. Actually, we only really need enough to get across here, which is that. We don't need this then, and that'll save us a little bit of cash. Okay, perfect. Now I need to overhead this part, I think, but for now let's just go ahead and stabilize this whole thing. Okay. This would probably be easier if I did have the grid on, but let's ignore that for now. This will just be a little bit messier looking because of it. Oh man. I just know that there's some sort of trick to this that I'm missing. And I didn't have to do all these. Okay, so you guys can go away. There, that looks strong. Strunk, as they say on the internet. Actually, no, I can get across this way just fine. Because this is wonky distancing, this will have wonky distancing as well, so that's a thing we'll have to deal with. That looks derpy. Yeah, there, that looks a little bit straighter. Alright, so I like symmetry, but I'm not going to worry about it too much in this particular one. Alright. Okay, how are we doing budget-wise? We've still got quite a bit. Looks like this level's pretty generous with how much it gives you. I guess it has to be, since the amount of stuff that you have to do here is quite substantial. I think that's the best we're going to be able to do for that one. Actually, I have unlimited, good. I was worried for a second that I'd only have 4 hydraulics, in which case I'd be like, dope. Okay. Okay. So let's see how this works. Everything looks sturdy. I don't know why I'm opening all of the bridges from the bottom, but I mean, like, when you've got bridges that have very high stability sort of islands in the middle like that, you can sort of pretend it's like land and just build 3 separate little bridges, is basically how I approach this. Dope. Okay. This one's a little bit too wide for the road as we have it set up here. We're going to have to... Well, actually, I probably didn't need to delete those. Okay, so... Okay, we're just going to stretch these down and like that, and try and move these so that it'll pull it further. Okay, so this one should be relatively simple though, assuming this actually works. Like if I'm doing something horrifically wrong and this just is not how you're supposed to be approaching this, then yeah. I just love how they all go down exactly at the same time. Looks so beautiful. No, I think it's still gonna clip those. Yeah, okay. Right, so we need to try and get this opening even a little bit more pronounced. Okay. Well, what if it's pulling these things more like this? Can it open it? I'm wondering if it can open... No, it's not going to open it wider if it's down that way. I might just have to put down like little random sticks or something for it to go down towards. So what would be the way to bring these things as far as possible? Let's consider that experiment for a second here. How would that work? Maybe I have to make the pivot points further out. Because I've got sort of these not quite complete pivot points here already. Since these sort of like, maybe if I... Okay, this might not work, guys. I'd be very surprised if this worked. But if I change the pivot point to over here... Okay, so apparently this is not symmetrical enough to do this the way that's going to make me not go insane. Right. Okay, let's move this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of all this for now. Okay, so we've changed it so that this is our new pivot point on this side. I need to actually go further than that though. Okay, so let's delete all that road. So the problem is, like, if I have this road in the middle here, let's have the pivot point there, pivot point there. I guess we're just going to use short roads here that lead to the center one, and then try and level this out here. So this way, we've got a longer road, and the longer road is going to get pulled across. Okay, so this road should be perfectly, like, just as though it were one longer road. And I think it's going to need quite a lot of structural support, because it's sort of freestanding here. But, bear with me for a second here. Okay, so like that. And then this road can attach to here. Oh, it's a little too freestanding. Okay, how the hell do I get these things to stay standing at the start here? What do I normally want to do here for these? Usually they are outright just being held up by these, Okay, maybe it's too much weight for that. How much budget do I have? Right, so, like that. And I need these to be located like here. Here. Should be fine. Okay, so the thing is, if it's like straight up down, more or less, yeah, it's now being held up by the hydraulics. I wonder if this is going to be the right direction, though. I don't think this is going to be the right direction for hydraulics, though. They're not going to close enough, I don't think. Oh, they broke. Are they going too deep or something? I think they're hitting the steel. Okay, so what I'm probably going to need to do is delete all that for now. Okay, so I need to build the steel with connection points in mind that I want. So I want it to connect up here, I feel. Alright. Oh dear. Okay, so that is actually going to be a problem, I suspect. That's probably what part of the problem was. No, I wonder if I can just get away with this. Nope. Not stable enough. Okay, so I definitely do need to... I need to do something about this stability down here. I wonder, actually... if I can do this. Will they hold it up for now? This puts a lot of overarch support on, like a lot of strain on the overarches. Does get the car across though. Puts along, that's fine. Nope, that's not wide enough. Well, it broke some of our struts. Maybe if I made all of the struts... Okay. So the problem with this one is that it's a little bit too close there. I wonder if I can... simply move these around a little bit. Because this has to be more like over here. Okay. Let's see if that helps. Like I said, this one like has a very sort of annoying but deceptive problem of just the boat's too wide. It's kind of hilarious and annoying, but I mean, it's weird that you have to put these strange pivot points on these, that is the wrong direction. Alright. I think that means though that these are not going to be capable of pulling the road back up. So we're going to have to think about that. I think I've actually got one too many segments compared to what I actually need for this road here, though, and that's complicating things too much. Let's try removing one and see if we can do that. Oh, that still broke. Let's see how much of it broke. Oh, why'd that break? Jeez. Okay, well, let's erase all that. Okay, so let's keep that center road bit. I guess there's no real reason to make those as short as we did. And these should go out to here. These are not identical on both sides here. Right, so we can stretch this out a little bit, I think. Oops, nope. Don't want to do that. These are not equidistant, I think, is the problem here, as far as that goes, but... Okay, so as little road mass as possible being there is a good idea, I think. I can actually delete some of these trusses right now, and just use that to move this out this way. There we go. That lets me get that symmetry I need. Okay, so... let's go ahead and change this up a little bit. So now it's just going to be... Okay. Now it should just be this. Okay, so that should be a little bit lighter and more compact, I suspect. should be less of the bridge having to move. Okay. And let's try it with the hydraulics this way again, just to see if that works right now. Okay, that looks good. We're looking good so far, guys. It's a lot less weight when it's just one less road segment. I didn't think that was going to make such a huge difference on that. Oh, why'd that snap that, I wonder? Well, is it clear? Nope, not quite. Okay, well, let's go ahead and lower this. We're just going to lower these so that they're less likely to get in the way of the boat as it goes past. Okay. Okay, and I also don't want it to be pulling itself apart like that. I think part of it had to do with the fact that I didn't have any support struts here, so maybe that mattered. I don't know. Alright, and let's go ahead and support ourselves here, because we've got a lot of cash, I've just realized, so might as well use it. Okay. I'm not sure what's causing this side to pull itself apart, though, when it does, so I don't know how to fix that when it goes, if it does that again. Okay, so yeah, I see where the tension point kind of was. I think it has to do with where this is located. Okay, let's try adding these to here instead. Actually, no, let's try adding these to the road directly. Alright. This is gonna drive me crazy, guys. They're all gonna drive me crazy. I'm already there. That's what I'm driving to. It's what these bridges lead to. Alright. Oh, what? That was weird. Okay, so that almost worked, but one side is snapping just slightly from something that I'm going to have to just minorly adjust, and that is going to break my spirit. Okay, so... okay, I think this might have hit the wooden strut there and then snapped it, so we're going to go ahead like that. Actually, is this connected to the road? Is. Okay, and it's at the right spot, it looks like. It's at the same sort of angle and same elevation. I don't have perfect symmetry, but, I mean, this isn't that sort of string physics where I need to have super symmetry here. I'm not trying to communicate over long distances or whatever it is that those nerds use super symmetry for. I don't really know. Okay. And then it goes, yeah, it keeps pulling. That's going to... okay, so I think it's just minor adjustments that we need to do for this, though. So let's go ahead and just give that a minor spot adjustment, just change where it's located a little bit, and see if that causes it less strain. So I just want it to pull less, basically, because I think it's trying to go too far. Which is ironic, considering my first problem was I was pulling too much. Oh, that looks beautiful. This is gonna work. Oh. Stupid fat boat in these slightly not long enough roads. This could have been so much simpler. This could have been easy, guys. This could have been easy. Look at that, that's beautiful. And we're 9,000 below budget. Ah. Good stuff here. Okay, 20-meter double overpass. This one is supposed to go directly over it here, if I can tell. I'm just gonna do a quick check here. Huh, that's peculiar. Yeah, I should have unlimited roads. problem here is that I can indeed not use a split here, so this is actually supposed to be an overpass. So, let's not go too steep here. Okay, that looks pretty centered. Well, if I could get just a little bit shorter here. No? Really? Really, game? Going to toy with my heart like this? Why? You monster. Whoever designed this level is a monster. That's what I'm going to tell you right off the bat here. Okay, what we're going to do is, we're going to take this back quite a bit. Okay, I'm going to turn the grid on for a second here, just because I want to get this directly over that. And something. Alright. Okay, let's go ahead and actually just use delete to try and get this. Okay. I should probably just be less OCD about this whole thing. That would probably be the smart choice. It's not the choice I'm going to make, though. Son of a bitch game. Okay, that should be fine. Now let's go ahead and just make a very simple straight up and down strut there. And we'll try and load as much support in from here as is possible. We're just going to try and like Christmas tree this up and then make triangles there. Should probably turn off the grid for this part. Just make this a little bit smoother. Alright, we'll move you over to there. Okay, so that should put a lot of the load onto this sort of area, onto these triangles here. We'll do our normal overpassy stuff here. It's on a slight curve, so this is going to be messy regardless, because I do not deal well with curves. That's not a preference of women here. It's just... Alright, looks like we're over budget already, so we'll go ahead and we'll shrink down a lot of these. See if we can get enough to get across here that way. If not, we can always remove a little bit of support structure from the bottom. So I guess the difficulty in this one is supposed to be the budget constraints, which is a valid way to challenge us, honestly. Hut, 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 hut. There we go. Straight across. That wasn't so bad. Okay. Double drawbridge. Another one. Okay. This one... 2 surfers vans. Yeah, that's what those are. I thought those were camper vans. Anyway, oh no. These are both those gigantic size ones. Why would you do this to me? What did I ever do to you? Alright, so we got an extra support point up here that's going to be able to use a bit of that. But how do we want to do this then? So it looks like we'll have more support on this one side than we'll have on this other side, and we don't have a solid thing in the middle here, so we can't do that thing where they open up evenly on both sides, so I might have to do one where it actually... I might actually have to do the crazy thing here and have it open up in the middle and literally be just pulled up like this and like this on both sides, but I don't know how to do it on this side. That's going to be the problem. How much budget do I have? It looks like I've got quite a bit. So the thing is, as well, this is way too long. Like, there's no way I'm gonna make this part by itself hold up and be pulled back by something that I construct over here. Alright, let's go ahead and put that up there. I can't even... Alright, well, let's give this a shot. No guts, no glory. Isn't a ton of budget that they give you. This is actually quite modest, considering how much bridge you're actually putting down. Alright, so now I need to figure out what's going to be holding up these things on each side here. Part of that is going to be hydraulics. That is going to have to be part of it. Okay, I don't think that is going to hold, in all honesty. And I honestly think that as well. This has to have that. Let's not put the hydraulic there, actually. Let's put the hydraulic there. Okay, so this is going to fall over on the one side in particular. It falls apart on both sides, actually, but... Okay, maybe. Let's turn the grid on here. Oh, that's all the steel I get? Okay, well that has to be for a reason, so that's probably a hint of some sort. These are too far away? Okay, so what is that steel thing hinting at? Okay, so I'm wondering... no way for me to properly triangle this side without getting in the way of this part of the bridge, so if I had the pivot point here, that wouldn't work. So that doesn't help. The radius is too short to actually get anything done with, so best I can do is build steel up here, and then cable to the back here so that this is held tight, but that probably isn't enough to help with anything in particular. This is going to be a tricky one, it looks like. For me and my feeble brain. Alright, well... I wonder if I could pull, like, the whole thing up, like, just put the breakpoint here, and just have the whole thing connected to this side. That would be amazing if I could do that. Okay, let's, get that done like that. Alright. So this is plan. I don't think this is going to work at all, but I want to see what happens. I want to see how catastrophic this is, basically. Alright. This is why I'm not being too careful about how I place these. Let's get... oh wow, this goes way back. This is a problem that starts way back. Alright. Probably gonna go over budget on this, but again, I just want to see how badly this doesn't work. We've got a theory, guys, and I know it's a bad one. But you gotta test that hypothesis. Alright. Oh this is such a bad solution. I feel bad for bridge builders everywhere that there's such a moron trying to construct such a poorly made bridge. Alright. Okay, so hydraulic. Only reached to there, fantastic. Right. Alright, that puts me over budget, but let's... yeah. Okay, so there's way too much weight back there at that end. I think my brain is a little bit loopy right now, so I think for now, we're going to call this one an episode. I don't know what I'm doing right now. I really don't. But anyway, I hope you found this episode enjoyable, and of course, as always, I hope to see you all next time.